Picture this, you walk into your home after a long day. Standing by the door is Tesla's Optimus, a humanoid robot. It doesn't just welcome you, it's been busy. The house is spotless, your favorite meal is cooking, and the playlist you love is softly playing in the background. It's not science fiction. This is the reality Tesla is building, and Optimus is leading the way.
That sounds incredible, doesn't it? But alongside the excitement comes some serious questions. What happens when robots like Optimus become part of our daily lives? Are they the helpers we've always dreamed of, or do they signal something more disruptive? Jobs, privacy, even our sense of humanity. All of these could change as humanoid robots step into roles traditionally held by people. How do we embrace this future while addressing the risks?
That's exactly what we're exploring today. Tesla's Optimus is at the forefront of this revolution. It's already demonstrated its ability to perform tasks like assembling parts, lifting heavy items, and even pouring drinks, all without human control. Elon Musk has described Optimus as the most important product Tesla is developing. Bold words, but when you look at what this robot can do, it's hard not to be amazed.
Optimus isn't just about helping in factories or warehouses. Tesla envisions a future where robots like this are in homes, hospitals, and even public spaces. They're designed to take over repetitive tasks, freeing humans for more creative and meaningful work. Imagine an Optimus robot assisting an elderly relative, delivering your groceries, or helping in disaster zones. The possibilities are endless, but so are the challenges.
One of the biggest questions is about jobs. Robots like Optimus are being built to replace manual labor in some industries. That's good for efficiency, but what happens to the people who rely on those jobs to make a living? Can we find a way to balance the benefits of automation with the need to protect workers and create new opportunities?
Then there's the issue of trust. These robots are powered by advanced AI, which means they're making decisions in real time. But can we trust them to act responsibly, especially in high-stakes situations? Imagine a robot handling medication for a loved one or making a critical decision during an emergency. For robots like Optimus to become a part of our lives, we need to feel confident in their safety and reliability.
Let's not forget the cultural impact. Around the world, people see robots in very different ways. In some countries, they're welcomed as signs of progress, while in others, they're met with skepticism or even fear. Tesla and other companies will need to design robots that aren't just functional but approachable, machines that people feel comfortable interacting with in their daily lives.
Today, we'll cover all of this and more. We'll start by looking at Tesla's Optimus and the incredible technology that makes it work. Then, we'll explore its potential uses, from factories to caregiving. We'll also discuss the ethical and social questions that come with humanoid robots. What does it mean to share our spaces with machines? And how do we ensure these technologies benefit everyone, not just a privileged few?
Humanoid robots like Optimus are more than just tools. They're shaping the future of work, care, and community. Whether you're excited, cautious, or a little of both, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Stick with us as we unpack the rise of humanoid robots and what it means for the world we're building together. Let's dive into the star of today's episode, Tesla's Optimus robot. Elon Musk calls it the most important product Tesla is developing, which is a bold claim considering Tesla's electric cars have changed the auto industry. But when you see Optimus in action, it's easy to understand why he's so confident.
Optimus isn't just a fancy gadget. It's a humanoid robot built to handle tasks that are repetitive or physically demanding. Tesla has already shown how Optimus can assemble parts, carry heavy objects, and even pour a drink. These might seem like small achievements, but for robots, these tasks are incredibly complex. Optimus is designed to move with balance and precision, making it useful in places like factories and warehouses.
What makes Optimus stand out isn't just what it can do today, but what it promises for the future. Tesla envisions a world where Optimus is a common sight, not just in industrial settings, but in homes, hospitals, and public spaces. Imagine a robot that can help you clean your house, carry groceries, or assist someone recovering from an injury. It's a vision of robots being seamlessly integrated into everyday life.
One of the biggest advantages of Optimus is how it uses Tesla's expertise in AI and engineering. The same technology that powers Tesla's self-driving cars is being applied to give Optimus its ability to navigate, make decisions, and adapt to new environments. This means Optimus can learn and improve over time, becoming more efficient and useful with every task it performs.
But with all this potential comes some serious questions. Robots like Optimus are being built to replace human labor in some areas, especially in jobs that involve repetitive tasks. That's great for productivity, but it raises concerns about job displacement. If Optimus can handle factory work, warehouse logistics, and even construction, what happens to the people currently doing those jobs?
That's the big challenge. While Optimus could help solve labor shortages in some industries, it could also lead to significant disruptions in others. History shows us that new technology often creates new jobs, even as it eliminates old ones. The real question is whether we're ready for the speed and scale of the changes robots like Optimus could bring. Res-killing programs and policies will need to keep up to avoid leaving workers behind.
There's another factor to consider: affordability. Right now, robots like Optimus are expensive to develop and build. Tesla's goal is to make them affordable enough for small businesses and even households, but that could take years. Until then, Optimus may only be accessible to large corporations, which could increase the gap between big businesses and smaller competitors.
Exactly. If only the biggest companies can afford to use robots like Optimus, it could create a new kind of inequality. Large corporations could dominate industries by automating tasks, while smaller businesses struggle to keep up. Ensuring that this technology is widely available will be key to making sure it benefits everyone, not just a few.
Despite these challenges, there's no denying the excitement around Optimus. It's a glimpse into a future where robots aren't just tools, but partners in our work and daily lives. Whether it's helping out in a factory, assisting with healthcare, or even taking on household chores, Optimus has the potential to redefine what we think robots can do.
Coming up, we'll explore how Optimus could expand beyond industrial and household tasks into more personal roles, like caregiving and urban services. What happens when robots step into roles that require empathy and trust? And can a machine ever truly replace the human touch? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the rise of humanoid robots. Robots like Tesla's Optimus aren't just designed for factories or warehouses. They have the potential to reshape how we live at home and in our communities. Imagine a robot helping an elderly person with mobility issues, preparing meals, or even monitoring vital signs for health emergencies. These are the kinds of tasks Tesla believes Optimus could handle in the near future.
That vision is especially powerful in aging societies where caregiving demands are rising faster than the workforce can handle. Think about how many families struggle to find consistent, reliable care for elderly loved ones. A robot like Optimus could help with daily tasks, providing a sense of safety and independence for people who need assistance. It's an idea that could redefine caregiving as we know it.
And it's not just caregiving. Robots like Optimus could take on roles in urban life that we don't typically associate with machines. For example, Tesla's long-term plans include integrating robots into services like Robovan and Cybercab, autonomous systems for urban logistics and transportation. Picture a robot delivering groceries directly to your door or assisting in disaster relief efforts by transporting supplies to hard-to-reach areas. These aren't far-fetched ideas. They're already in development.
But here's the challenge. While Optimus might be able to perform physical tasks, what about roles that require emotional intelligence? For example, caregiving isn't just about preparing meals or lifting heavy objects. It's about offering companionship, understanding, and empathy. These human qualities are hard to replicate with technology. Can a robot truly provide comfort and connection, or will it always feel like a machine?
That's a tough question, Max. While robots like Optimus can be programmed to simulate certain emotional behaviors, like responding to someone's tone of voice or maintaining eye contact, it's not the same as genuine human empathy. For some tasks, that might not matter. But for roles like caregiving or teaching, the lack of real emotional connection could limit how effective robots are in those settings.
Another factor to consider is trust. If a robot like Optimus is responsible for helping someone with a medical condition or providing child care, people need to feel confident that it will make the right decisions. This means more than just technical reliability, it's about accountability. If something goes wrong, who's responsible? Tesla? The user? Or the software developers who built the AI?
And then there's the issue of accessibility. For robots like Optimus to make a real difference, they need to be affordable and available to everyone, not just the wealthy. Imagine the impact if a family with limited resources could rely on a robot for basic caregiving or home assistance. It could be life-changing. But if these robots are only available to those who can pay a premium, we risk creating new forms of inequality.
Affordability is key, but so is education. People need to understand how to use these robots effectively. If a family brings an Optimus robot into their home, they'll need to know how to program it, maintain it, and troubleshoot issues. Without proper training, even the most advanced robots could end up sitting unused in a corner.
That's why companies like Tesla need to think beyond just selling robots. They need to build support systems, training programs, customer service networks, and user-friendly designs that make these machines accessible and practical for everyday people. Otherwise, we risk seeing robots like Optimus fail to live up to their potential.
Despite these challenges, the possibilities are exciting. From caregiving to urban logistics, robots like Optimus could bring real benefits to millions of people. But as we integrate these machines into more personal and public roles, we need to ask, are we designing them to truly help everyone, or just the few who can afford them? Coming up next, we'll tackle the ethical and economic questions surrounding humanoid robots and the changes they might bring to society. Humanoid robots like Tesla's Optimus are not just about innovation, they also bring big ethical and economic questions. One of the biggest concerns is job displacement. Optimus is designed to handle repetitive tasks, which are the same tasks that millions of people rely on for steady incomes. Imagine a factory floor where robots work 24/7 without breaks. Great for efficiency, but what about the workers?
It's a real concern. Jobs in industries like manufacturing, logistics, and retail could be at risk as robots like Optimus become more capable and affordable. For many people, these jobs aren't just a paycheck, they're a lifeline. So, what happens when automation takes over? Some experts argue that new technology creates new jobs, but history shows that this transition can be slow and painful for workers who are displaced.
That's why reskilling programs are so important. Governments and companies need to step up and provide workers with training for new roles in the economy. For example, jobs in robot maintenance, AI programming, or even supervising automated systems could replace some of the roles lost to automation. But the question is whether these programs will be rolled out quickly enough to keep up with the pace of change.
And let's not forget the global impact. In countries where labor is cheap, automation could hit especially hard. Many industries moved operations overseas because of lower labor costs. But if robots like Optimus make manufacturing cheaper than human labor, those jobs could disappear altogether. The economic ripple effects could be massive.
Then there's the issue of inequality. If only large corporations can afford to buy and use robots like Optimus, it could widen the gap between big businesses and small ones. Imagine a giant retailer using robots to cut costs while a local store struggles to compete. The playing field becomes even more uneven.
Exactly. And it's not just businesses. If robots are used for personal assistance or caregiving, there's a risk that only wealthy families will benefit. Picture a future where some people have robots to help with daily chores, while others struggle to keep up. It's a scenario that could deepen existing social divides unless steps are taken to make these technologies accessible to everyone.
Another key issue is accountability. Let's say an Optimus robot is helping in a hospital and something goes wrong. Maybe it misinterprets a command or fails to act in an emergency. Who's responsible? Is it Tesla, the operator, or the AI developers? These questions need clear answers before humanoid robots can be trusted in critical roles.
Trust is also tied to transparency. People need to understand how robots make decisions, especially in high-stakes situations like caregiving or public safety. If a robot prioritizes one action over another, users should know why. Without transparency, it's hard to build the trust needed for widespread adoption.
And then there's the matter of bias in AI. Even the most advanced robots rely on algorithms created by humans, and those algorithms can carry unintended biases. Imagine an Optimus robot tasked with hiring employees or approving loans. If the AI isn't carefully monitored, it could reinforce or even worsen existing inequalities.
That's why ethical guidelines are so important. Governments, companies, and researchers need to work together to create standards for how robots like Optimus are used. This includes everything from safety protocols to ensuring robots are designed to be fair and unbiased.
The bottom line is that humanoid robots like Optimus could bring incredible benefits, but only if we address these ethical and economic challenges head on. Coming up next, we'll explore how these robots might change the way we interact with machines in our daily lives. Stay with us.
Let's talk about how humans and robots like Optimus will interact in the future. It's one thing to have robots working in factories or warehouses, but what happens when they're living and working alongside us? Imagine a humanoid robot as your coworker, your caregiver, or even a companion in your daily life. How would that change the way we think about technology and ourselves?
That's a fascinating question. Humans have always been quick to adopt technologies that make life easier. Just think about how quickly smartphones became essential. But humanoid robots are different. They're not just tools or apps, they have a physical presence and, in some cases, lifelike behaviors. This creates a whole new dynamic where trust and collaboration are critical.
Trust is key. For robots like Optimus to be successful, people need to feel safe relying on them. This isn't just about how well they perform tasks. It's about how they handle unexpected situations. For example, if a robot is helping care for a child or assisting during an emergency, it needs to act in a way that inspires confidence. Building that trust will take time, testing, and transparency.
Transparency is especially important when robots are making decisions. Imagine a robot working in a hospital, deciding which patient to help first in an emergency. How does it prioritize its actions? And more importantly, how do we ensure it makes ethical choices? Explaining these decision-making processes to users will be crucial for building long-term acceptance.
Then there's the cultural aspect. Around the world, people view robots very differently. In some countries, robots are seen as symbols of progress, while in others, they're met with skepticism or even fear. These cultural differences will play a huge role in how robots like Optimus are adopted globally. Companies like Tesla will need to design robots that are not just functional, but approachable and culturally sensitive.
Another layer to consider is how robots might change our social dynamics. If robots become common in workplaces, will they be seen as teammates or competitors? And what about roles that require emotional interaction, like teaching or caregiving? Can a robot ever truly replace the human touch, or will it always feel artificial?
That's a tough one, Max. While robots can mimic certain human behaviors, like making eye contact or responding to tone of voice, they don't have genuine emotions or empathy. For some tasks, like cleaning or delivering goods, that doesn't matter. But for roles that involve personal connection, the lack of real emotion could be a major limitation.
On the flip side, some people might prefer interacting with robots in certain situations. For example, someone who's shy or introverted might find it easier to communicate with a robot than with a person. Robots could also help in areas where there's a shortage of human workers, like rural healthcare or customer service in small towns.
That's true. But as robots become more integrated into our lives, we'll need to set clear boundaries. What decisions should robots be allowed to make? How do we protect privacy when robots are constantly collecting data? These are questions that society will need to answer as we move forward.
The future of human-robot interaction is full of possibilities. Robots like Optimus could make life easier, safer, and more efficient. But they also challenge us to think about what it means to be human and how we want to live alongside machines. Coming up next, we'll wrap up with final thoughts on the rise of humanoid robots and what this technology could mean for the decades ahead. Stay with us.
As we wrap up today's episode, it's clear that robots like Tesla's Optimus aren't just about technology. They're about how we, as a society, choose to adapt. These machines could make life easier, solve big problems, and open doors to new possibilities. But they also bring challenges we can't ignore. How do we prepare for a future where robots work, live, and interact alongside us?
That's the big question, Sophia. On one hand, robots like Optimus could help us in incredible ways. Imagine cleaner cities, safer factories, and better care for people who need it most. But on the other hand, there's the risk of leaving people behind. If we don't take steps to address job displacement, economic inequality, and trust, this future could create as many problems as it solves.
The key lies in collaboration. Governments, companies, and communities all have a role to play in shaping how robots are developed and used. It's not enough to create amazing technology. We need policies, education, and infrastructure that make sure these benefits reach everyone. Robots like Optimus shouldn't just help the privileged, they should uplift society as a whole.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the ethical questions. As robots take on roles that involve caregiving, education, or even public safety, we need to ask ourselves, what decisions should we let robots make? How do we ensure they're acting in ways that align with our values? These aren't just technical challenges, they're human ones.
And then there's the cultural side of things. Around the world, people will see robots like Optimus differently. For some, they'll be a symbol of progress and hope. For others, they might represent uncertainty or even fear. Bridging those gaps will require thoughtful design and communication. Tesla and other companies need to make sure these robots feel approachable, not intimidating.
Despite the challenges, there's a lot to be optimistic about. Robots like Optimus are pushing the boundaries of what technology can do. If we approach this future with care and creativity, we have the chance to create a world where robots don't just replace human effort, they enhance it. The future isn't just about machines, it's about how we use them to make life better.
As we look ahead, the choices we make today will shape the decades to come. Will robots like Optimus become a tool for progress, or will they deepen the divides that already exist? It's up to all of us to decide how we want this story to unfold.
And that's what makes this such an exciting time. The rise of humanoid robots is just the beginning of a much larger conversation about technology, humanity, and the future. Thank you for joining us on this journey today. If you have questions, thoughts, or stories to share, reach out to us on social media. Your voice matters, and we'd love to hear from you.
That's all for today's episode of AI Frontier AI. Be sure to subscribe, share this episode with friends, and leave a review. The world of artificial intelligence is moving fast, and we're here to explore it with you every step of the way. Until next time, take care and stay curious. As we wrap up today's episode, it's clear that robots like Tesla's Optimus aren't just about technology. They're about how we, as a society, choose to adapt. These machines could make life easier, solve big problems, and open doors to new possibilities. But they also bring challenges we can't ignore. How do we prepare for a future where robots work, live, and interact alongside us?
That's the big question, Sophia. On one hand, robots like Optimus could help us in incredible ways. Imagine cleaner cities, safer factories, and better care for people who need it most. But on the other hand, there's the risk of leaving people behind. If we don't take steps to address job displacement, economic inequality, and trust, this future could create as many problems as it solves.
The key lies in collaboration. Governments, companies, and communities all have a role to play in shaping how robots are developed and used. It's not enough to create amazing technology. We need policies, education, and infrastructure that make sure these benefits reach everyone. Robots like Optimus shouldn't just help the privileged, they should uplift society as a whole.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the ethical questions. As robots take on roles that involve caregiving, education, or even public safety, we need to ask ourselves, what decisions should we let robots make? How do we ensure they're acting in ways that align with our values? These aren't just technical challenges, they're human ones.
And then there's the cultural side of things. Around the world, people will see robots like Optimus differently. For some, they'll be a symbol of progress and hope. For others, they might represent uncertainty or even fear. Bridging those gaps will require thoughtful design and communication. Tesla and other companies need to make sure these robots feel approachable, not intimidating.
But the future isn't just about companies and governments, it's also about individuals. How we interact with robots will shape how they're used. If people are open to using robots responsibly, they can enhance productivity, improve safety, and help with daily tasks. But if people don't trust these machines or feel left out of the benefits, adoption could slow down and the potential for progress could be lost.
That's a great point. Trust and transparency aren't just technical issues, they're about how people feel. Robots like Optimus need to prove that they're safe, reliable, and fair. This might mean new rules or oversight committees that keep AI development on track. It might also mean education programs that teach people how to use robots safely and effectively. The more informed we are, the better choices we can make.
Despite the challenges, there's a lot to be optimistic about. Robots like Optimus are pushing the boundaries of what technology can do. If we approach this future with care and creativity, we have the chance to create a world where robots don't just replace human effort, they enhance it. The future isn't just about machines, it's about how we use them to make life better.
And as robots become more capable, we have to ask ourselves what role we want them to play in our lives. Should they only handle tasks that are repetitive or dangerous? Or can they take on roles that require empathy and decision-making? These are decisions we need to make now because the robots of tomorrow will reflect the priorities we set today.
That's why it's such an exciting time. The rise of humanoid robots isn't just a technological shift, it's a societal one. The choices we make today will shape the decades to come. Will robots like Optimus become tools for progress, or will they deepen the divides that already exist? It's up to all of us to decide how we want this story to unfold.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of humanoid robots. As we look ahead, one thing is certain. The rise of machines like Optimus is just the beginning of a much larger story. If you have questions, thoughts, or ideas, reach out to us on social media. Your voice matters, and we'd love to hear from you.
That's all for today's episode of AI Frontier AI. Be sure to subscribe, share this episode with friends, and leave a review. The world of artificial intelligence is moving fast, and we're here to explore it with you every step of the way. Until next time, take care and stay curious. Now it's time for one of our favorite parts of the show, listener questions. You've sent us some incredible questions about humanoid robots and their role in our future. Let's dive in and see what's on your mind. Sophia, who's up first?
Our first question comes from Linda Parker in Chicago. She asks, do you think robots like Optimus will actually solve labor shortages, or will they end up taking jobs from the people who need them most?
That's a great question, Linda. It's a tricky balance. Robots like Optimus are designed to handle repetitive or physically demanding tasks, which could help fill gaps in industries struggling to find workers, like logistics or manufacturing. But the other side of the coin is that these are the same jobs many people depend on to make a living. While Optimus could improve efficiency, it could also lead to job displacement, especially for workers in vulnerable industries.
That's why it's so important to have programs in place to help workers transition to new roles. For example, if robots like Optimus are taking over factory work, governments and companies need to invest in training programs for jobs in robot maintenance, programming, or AI management. Technology has always created new kinds of jobs, but the challenge is making sure people have access to the skills they need for those opportunities.
Absolutely. And it's not just about creating new jobs, it's about the timeline. If automation moves faster than risk-killing efforts, there could be a gap where people are left behind. That's why planning and collaboration between governments, industries, and communities are so important.
Our next question comes from James Carter in Austin. He asks, how soon will robots like Optimus become part of everyday life? Are we talking 5 years or 50 years?
Great question, James. Tesla has big plans for Optimus, and Elon Musk has suggested that we could see these robots in widespread use within a decade. But there's a big difference between having a few Optimus robots in warehouses and seeing them in homes or public spaces. There are still technical, ethical, and regulatory hurdles to overcome.
Right now, Optimus is best suited for industrial tasks like assembly or logistics. It might take 5 to 10 years before we see them in homes, and even longer for them to become common. Affordability is another factor. For robots like Optimus to become a part of daily life, They need to be cost-effective, not just for corporations, but for families and small businesses.
Another question comes from Maria Lopez in Los Angeles. She asks, how do we make sure robots like Optimus are used ethically and don't cause harm?
That's such an important point. Ethical guidelines are key to ensuring robots are safe, fair, and beneficial. For example, companies need to be transparent about how robots make decisions, especially in sensitive roles like caregiving or public safety. Clear accountability is also critical. If a robot makes a mistake, who's responsible? Tesla? The user? The AI developers? These are questions that need answers before robots like Optimus can be fully trusted.
Absolutely. And it's not just about rules, it's about trust. People need to understand how these robots work and feel confident using them. That's why companies need to prioritize transparency and education, making sure users know what robots are capable of and how to use them safely.
Our last question today comes from Daniel Kim in Seattle. He asks, can robots like Optimus make cities more sustainable?
That's an exciting question, Daniel. Robots like Optimus could play a big role in sustainability. For example, they could assist with urban logistics, reducing waste and optimizing delivery systems. Imagine robots working alongside autonomous vehicles like Tesla's Robovan to cut down on traffic and emissions. They could also help maintain renewable energy systems or monitor infrastructure for efficiency.
Exactly. The potential is there, but the key will be using robots thoughtfully. For example, designing them to prioritize energy efficiency and programming them to take on tasks that directly contribute to sustainability. If done right, robots like Optimus could help make cities cleaner, greener, and more efficient.
Thanks to everyone who sent in questions. Your thoughts and ideas are what make these conversations so engaging. If you have more questions or want to share your perspective, reach out to us on social media. We'd love to keep the discussion going.
Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to imagine the future. Robots like Tesla's Optimus aren't just tools. They're a vision of how technology could transform our world. So, what does that future look like? Let's explore some possibilities.
Picture a world where robots take care of the repetitive tasks that fill our days. They handle the laundry, clean the house, and even mow the lawn, giving people more time to spend with their families or focus on creative projects. In factories and warehouses, robots could take on dangerous jobs, making workplaces safer for everyone.
But robots like Optimus could also make a difference outside the home. Imagine cities where robots help maintain roads and buildings, deliver groceries, or assist with disaster recovery. In farming, robots could monitor crops, reduce waste, and make food production more sustainable. These machines could help solve problems we've been struggling with for decades.
And let's not forget healthcare. Robots like Optimus could support doctors and nurses by delivering supplies, assisting in surgeries, or monitoring patients in real time. In rural areas with limited access to healthcare, robots could provide services that might otherwise be unavailable, saving lives and improving quality of care.
These possibilities sound amazing, but they also come with important choices. If robots are doing more, what will humans do? Some people might worry that robots will take over too much, leaving us with nothing meaningful to do. But history shows us that when new technologies emerge, humans find new ways to create, connect, and grow.
That's a great point. Instead of replacing human effort, robots could expand what we're capable of. Imagine artists working alongside robots to create new forms of art or scientists using robots to explore environments humans can't reach. Robots like Optimus aren't about replacing us, they're about helping us reach new heights.
Of course, there are challenges we need to address. Robots will only be as good as the systems we build around them. For example, if we want robots to help solve environmental problems, we need to design them with sustainability in mind. If we want them to make cities safer, we need to focus on ethics and accountability. The choices we make now will shape how robots impact our future.
And those choices aren't just for governments or companies, they're for everyone. As robots like Optimus become more common, we'll all have to decide how we want to use them. Will we see them as tools for progress, or will we fear them as competitors? The way we answer these questions will determine the role robots play in our lives.
The truth is, The future of humanoid robots isn't written yet. It's up to us to shape it. If we work together, governments, companies, and communities, we can create a future where robots enhance our lives, not replace what makes us human.
That's the most exciting part of this journey. Robots like Optimus are opening doors we never thought possible. What we do with those opportunities is up to us. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of what's ahead. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Reach out to us on social media and let us know, how do you imagine robots like Optimus shaping the future?
That's it for today's bonus segment. Thank you for listening to Finance Frontier AI. Don't forget to subscribe, share the episode, and leave a review. The future of AI is unfolding fast, and we're here to explore it with you. Until next time, stay curious and keep imagining. Before we conclude, here's a quick disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or positions of Tesla, its affiliates, or any other organization mentioned. This content is for informational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. Always consult relevant experts for specific guidance.
A special note about the music in today's episode: the intro and outro music, Night Runner by Audionautics, is licensed under the YouTube Audio Library license. Additional tracks used are licensed under Creative Commons. Full details can be found in the episode description.
Copyright 2024 Finance Frontier AI. All rights reserved. Reproduction, distribution, or transmission of this episode's content without written permission is strictly prohibited. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.